so I got to make sure I don't get out of that habit.
Well, if that's my only quirk, I'm doing.
Oh, there's a lot more, babe. A lot more.
Congratulations. I'm so excited to chat with you all about the wedding, your wedding special. So tell me, what has Newlywed life been like? Are you guys loving it?
Well, I mean, I think it's going pretty good. I mean, I think we've said it before, but for me, it just kind of solidifies the whole relationship. Marriage to me puts on like that button. And I think it, I don't know, just helps you remember and give you a reason why and what you're fighting for. And that's your relationship together.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been living together since January, so it's not like it's a whole new experience as far as being together, but there's a sense of ease, now that we're married. Yeah. There's, initially, we're living together. It's like, we each have our little quirks. Is this something that's going to last a lifetime? But since we've, gotten married, we've just decided it's going to last a lifetime. We're more wondering. So it's just easier.
Yeah.
And I think, there's nothing to say that, there won't be ups and downs, but I think, you just have a more powerful reason to really want to make it work.
Yeah.
And enjoy those happy times.
Definitely. What were some of those quirks that you had to get used to about living together?
Well, he's definitely a meat and potato guy. I'm used to eating a lot more veggies and stuff. And so I got to make sure I don't get out of that habit.
Well, if that's my only quirk, I'm doing.
Oh, there's a lot more, babe. A lot more.
That's what you'll share today. I know we have this big wedding special coming up, and it kind of chronicles your story up until the wedding. So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced before walking down the aisle?
Well, I think planning this wedding to me evolved. Because I was willing, to take on the whole thing because, I wanted that traditional wedding and stuff. And as time progressed, I was very happy that he wanted to be more involved. But then I had to, back off a little bit when I really wanted to pounce and, do it all. But no, I think it progressed. I think there's never enough time to plan something like that, and you just go with what you want, and the day of is going to be the day of.
Yeah, that's so true. No matter what happens, it's happening. The wedding is taking place. I mean, what were some of the biggest disagreements that you both had when it came to planning the wedding and what was going to be had at the wedding, things like that?
Well, initially the wedding favors.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Bit of a challenge. Initially Amy wanted to do a hand-painted rock, with hearts on it, and which was nice. But I'm just thinking of some of the past weddings where I've been to, where you got a pretty decent swag bag at the wedding, and so I wanted to do a little bit more. And Amy's going, no.
Well, a swag bag. I've never gotten a swag bag at a wedding.
Well, I'm exaggerating,
except for
but
like a cookie or some little trinket or whatever, and. I don't know, rocks have been kind of our thing or my thing. And so, yeah. And at first, I don't think Chris really understood my concept of the painted rock for the wedding favor, and probably didn't communicate it to him well enough.
Well, I didn't realize also, when the process started, it was a lot more work. I mean, it was her and her two girlfriends,
3 weekends.
Lisa and Deb, put a lot of time into making those rocks special. But right there towards the end, I was able to do a little something too, and talk Amy into providing monogrammed drink mugs.
Like a mason jar.
Yeah, because we had our signature drink, and so then we provided our guests with a mug that they could take home with us that had our wedding date and stuff on it. So they got 2 gift items.
I love
so
that.
In the end, having a wedding favor was a rough road, and in the beginning, but in the end, it ended up being great.
The other one that we had a big conflict over was photos.
Oh gosh, yeah.
She would have spent all day doing pictures, and I had to limit the time to an hour. To me, it was a day of celebration. I wanted to spend time with friends and family that had, traveled some of them traveled a long distance to be there for the wedding. I did not want to spend the day doing pictures, but she could have done that all day long. But,
well, I think the other thing was just the time schedule, because a lot of times people do their first look before everyone gets there. So you get a lot of those he and I photos and photos of each other individually and our bridal party and, things like that. So when you do the family ones, when they all come, if you want to do it that way, then, you have about a half hour. So we got photos done in probably about an hour.
Oh, that's impressive.
No, it was like way too quick.
That was perfect.
It was perfect. Were either one of you bridezilla, groomzilla at all?
I know I wasn't.
I don't think I was. I think, no, I don't think we were.
Not that I saw, if she was, became bossy boss behind the scenes. I missed it. Fortunately, my task list was actually pretty small. Amy handled most of it. I just wanted to say on some of the options, that's all.
But you did think that we had a lot of time. And towards the end, you realized.
Yeah, I did misjudge the time a little bit. The day of the wedding, I was still gathering stuff and going to the farm and trying to get it ready. I had originally envisioned that I'd have a couple hours before the wedding to relax, and I told all my buddies that my male friends to come by and have a little toast with me before the wedding, and I was busy working that morning, still running coolers and ice and beer and setting up, and I didn't even get to the farm until 2:00, just an hour before the ceremony, and then I still had to get dressed.
No.
Well, what I was doing was sitting in the chair getting my hair and makeup.
She started at 10. I started at 2.
He started at 2.
The ceremony was at 3.
But that's why I planned.
Right, exactly. I mean, what would you say was the most memorable part of your wedding day?
Well, I think for me, because it was uncertain whether my father would be able to be there, being 92 and, health and everything. I think for me, it was really opening up those doors. And then I first saw my dad because I walked to him because it was kind of warm that day. And so I met him halfway there down the aisle. And then when I took his hand, then my eyes, went right to Chris. It's very funny how, you just remain focused. It's like, I knew people were there, obviously, but they weren't even part of my focus. It was my eyes just went right to him and how handsome he looked in this nice suit and stuff. So to me, that was the most memorable one because that was the important, 2 words you say, I do.
Yeah. No,
well,
Chris.
For me, the aisle walk was definitely the most special part too, and her grandkids, Jackson and Amber, came out. Amber was the flower girl, Jackson was the ring bearer, and to watch them come down the aisle and do their thing was really cute. And then when the music started, my best man, my good buddy, composed the music for the aisle walk, and so he had everything timed perfectly. And when the doors opened, that was my first time seeing her wedding. She wouldn't tell me anything about the wedding dress. I had no idea what to expect.
It was beautiful.
She looked gorgeous. And then to be able to still have her dad around to hand her over, that was special too. And he said a couple words about he and his wife, and unfortunately she lost her mom 2 years ago, but still, he presented her as my mother, your mother and I, or yeah,
your mother and I.
That was very special.
Oh, I love that. That's so great. Were the kids well behaved?
Oh, they were. Oh, yeah. No, they were.
Yeah, it went well. Yeah.
Good.
I think Jeremy and Aj, Zach and Tori really do well. With their kids and stuff. So
yeah, that could that's always a little dicey at times. You never know.
And the grandkids were hit on the dance floor too. Yeah. Amy's out there trying to do a speech, and Jackson comes out there and goes, "When can we dance?"
Aww, that's so cute. That's adorable. Obviously the wedding took place on the farm. Amy, were you ever surprised that Matt offered up the farm for the wedding, or were you? Was that shocking to you? And is that something that you guys always wanted to plan to have it there?
Well, I was planning to have our wedding somewhere else. I had a couple of venues that I was thinking of and everything. But the farm was always on the radar. It was like plan B. Yeah. And by the time we had picked, the actual date for the wedding, a couple of those venues, went by the wayside. And, you know, as this whole COVID still becomes an impact in all of this, I think in the end, the farm really worked out because it gave us time to decorate a few days prior. You know, there's plenty of room for guests to, you know, do whatever they feel is comfortable. And I had set it up in a way that, you know, if people wanted to do certain things because of COVID, they were able to do that. So in the end, the farm, you know, was really the perfect venue. And you want to say why you wanted it there?
Well, to clarify though, we were looking elsewhere, but it was, you know, we had it in the back of our mind if we couldn't find anything about approaching Matt. So it was a surprise that he brought it up first because we didn't ask him. So it was a nice surprise when he officially offered it. And because we just always thought if we couldn't find another place, you know, then we'd go, you know, hat in hand to Matt and say, Matt, can we get married on the farm? But we didn't have to. So it was a nice surprise that he offered.
That is. Did you end up giving him a last minute invite?
No. Matt and Karen weren't invited to the wedding. No.
And it wasn't anything against Matt and Karen, but it just, it made it more comfortable for the kids and for the guests, you know, that they're not wishing us the best, you know, a life of happiness, especially for the kids. That would have been awkward for Amy and Matt's kids to, you know, which one are they supposed to be happy for? I just think it would have been a lot of mixed emotions for them to be there together.
I totally agree with you. Did they end up giving you a gift though?
Yes.
Yeah. They gave us a little gift basket and stuff, which was very nice of them, you know, and so we're very appreciative of that.
And in the gift basket was a handwritten, why? I'm going to say, why not? In the gift basket was a handwritten note for Matt's offer to fly us to Arizona and check out their place. So we may be taking advantage of that.
That was really nice. I mean, it seems like you guys have a really good relationship now.
Well, you know what? It's a relationship. It's a relationship for me that's out of respect, and everything like that. I definitely don't want to pretend and allude to the fact that I'm suddenly going to become best friends, you know, with my ex and things like that. But you know, yeah, we're able to do things together and, you know, communicate and, you know, talk and stuff like that. I don't think either one of us are going to go out of our way and, you know, be over each other's house every other weekend. But yeah, not flying to Arizona anytime soon then. Well, that might not be a that may be a possibility.
We may still do that. We've been wanting to go to Arizona anyway.
We have other friends.
Yeah, so. I mean, I have some friends down there that have a casita that they've offered us a place to stay in. So, you know, if we go, we'll go to their house for a visit, but we won't be staying with them.
No slumber parties. Do you think that they're next to get married? And what do you kind of think is holding them back?
Oh, I have no idea on that one. Yeah. I have no idea where Matt and Karen are all out in that.
Yeah,
they're not sharing a whole lot on that.
Did anything go wrong on the wedding day that like only you would know about?
Yes.
You don't want to.
Why?
Because sometimes
that's
I got sick. I got sick at the very end.
Oh no, really?
Yes. About 9:30, 20 after 9. And I don't know if it was the heat, the stress, just the whole excitement of the whole day and everything. But I just needed to take a step back and just rest. But unfortunately, by the time I came out, everyone was gone.
Oh no.
For, you know, my family and stuff like that.
Yeah. How was the whole family incorporated into the wedding? I know the kids were the flower girls and the ring bearer, but how else was the family involved in the wedding?
Well, they didn't have a specific role. I mean, Chris and I had a very small, you know, bridal party or something like that. I had my maid of honor. He had his best man. And, you know, I was very grateful that RHOC, you know, were good with Ember being the flower girl, Zach and Tori, you know, letting Jackson be the ring bearer. But I think to Chris's point that he made earlier, it was just really nice that all of them were happy for both of us and were there celebrating. And, you know, a lot of them helped me, you know, the day before rehearsal, get everything set up, chairs and stuff like that. So no specific role, but they were definitely there.
Nice. Did you have traditional vows or did you write your own?
Well, I wrote we each wrote our own vows. Mine were fairly short and to the point. Amy's were 4 pages.
Really?
Like 2.5.
But you'll see on the wedding special, they didn't have time for all that.
Did either one of you cry?
I think, no, Chris might have got teary-eyed, and I don't know. I always go to like mom role. When I see someone cry, it's like, okay, I got to be strong, you know. But no, I mean, I got teary-eyed too. Chris was wonderful.
Yeah.
His vows meant a lot to me.
Nice. Oh, good. And how are Tori and Zach doing? I know they moved, but how are they doing?
You know what? I think they're loving the move. I think they're enjoying their new place. I think it's one of those things where, you know, you kind of do something similar for so long that you kind of just need to burst out and do something totally different. And I think that's what they're doing. And so far, they seem to be really liking it.
Yeah. Has it been hard for you?
Oh, for me, it will be hard because I enjoy just doing an errand and say, you know, shopping or whatever it is. And then, I'll just stop by Zach and Tori's house, you know, just for a half hour, 45-minute visit, and then, you know, head on home. But now it's going to take some time and thought, you know, to go up there because they're far enough away that it warrants that. So,
yeah, definitely. And I know, you know, they've been through, you know, some ups and downs this past year. How are they doing? How are they, you know, how is Tori doing? And, you know, because I know that they suffered from a heartbreaking miscarriage a few months back. So how are they doing?
Well, you know what? I think I'm just amazed at the strength of Tori. Obviously, you know, like we all know, that was a devastating thing for both of them in different ways. And, but I think when you have 2 other kids, though that sadness can be, you know, overwhelming, I think when you have 2 other kids, you look at them and say, but look at the gifts we still have. And so I think that's been part of what has helped her too, besides faith. And then, so yeah, I think they're doing really, really well.
Good. That's good to hear. And I know that you're about to be a grandma times 2 once again. I know Jeremy and Audrey are expecting their 3rd this month, right?
Yeah, in fact, Jerry and Audrey are expected like any day to have their 3rd baby. And then my youngest son, Jacob, and his wife, Isabel, are expecting their 1st. So I'm going from 4 to 6, and Chris is going to have a household.
Yeah. What are you putting your money on? What are Jeremy and Audrey going to have, boy or girl?
Jeez. I don't know.
You don't know? How did you give him? Are you giving them any? Are you giving Jacob any advice? Because I know that this is his first time being a dad.
No, I really don't. I hope I don't. I don't really give too much advice. For me, the biggest one is really don't sweat the small stuff. You know, if your house is a little messy, don't get shook up on that. Yeah. You know, within the year, as the baby gets older and stuff like that, you know, those are times to do certain things like that. I mean, in the sense, you do the best you can when you have an infant and you're living off of 4 hours of sleep or, you know, something like that. But, you know, kids generally will not care about a clean house. They really want your time and attention. And, you know, the older they get, then you help them to realize how important it is to pick up your stuff and wash your dishes and, you know, put them in the dishwasher, you know, those types of things. But, you know, having a small little baby, that time goes by so fast.
It does. It definitely does. And how is Jacob doing?
I think Jacob's doing great. I think he's very, very excited to, you know, be a dad for the first time because he's been a wonderful, wonderful uncle, you know, to his nieces and nephews. So, you know, but this is the calm before the storm.
That is.
When the baby arrives, I'll subconsciously think that I'm on call and or have Chris help me get up or something like that.
Definitely. I mean, Chris, how does it feel to be officially part of the family and you know, take on this, you know, stepdad and grandpa role?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll never call me grandpa, but it's fun to get close to, I guess, as close as I'm going to get to having grandkids and watching them grow up, and they're fun kids to be around. Gosh, they're so smart, and I'm just very fortunate that her kids have accepted me, in the family, and I look forward to the time when we have family dinners together. It's nice just to sit and visit with them and watch the changes that they're going through. It's been just another big bonus.
Definitely.